Hello everybody, welcome back to Push and Paint. I'm Jonathan Strong. This is take 3 because the first time the microphone wasn't plugged in. The second time the microphone was plugged in but it wasn't turned on. So, take 3 everybody. Let's edit some film. Anyway, that comes later. Thank you everyone so much for joining me here on Push and Paint. Thank you so much for liking the videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We're up over 200 subscribers now. We were at 100 just a couple months ago, and it's picking up a little bit. We're gaining a few more every day, and that's really exciting. And thank you everyone so much for sharing the videos and liking the videos, subscribing. It's all awesome. So, behind me, I have a blank canvas. I have no idea yet what I'm going to put on it, but that's part of the process. So I'm going to sit down here and stare at it and think of a few things. I've got a couple ideas. We'll see. So, anyway. If you like to just watch me paint, then grab some popcorn or whatever it is you want to snack on and enjoy the video. If you want to join along, and grab your paints, grab your brushes, grab your palette knives, grab your canvas, grab your easel, grab all your stuff, and let's push some paint. We've got our sky in place. Nice pretty sunset, sunrise, whatever it might be. I'm thinking sunset. Either way. There's still a lot of color in the sky. There's still a lot of light. So just some storm clouds moving in here, but you can see our, well, you can't see it there, but you can see our nice cloudy sky here. So we're going to do a real sparse tree line with not a lot of light, and then our real green is going to come up with a hillside that sort of covers this way and it just kind of feeds out that way, down this way. So there. We don't want a whole lot of paint on this. We're going to go with a real dark color. We're just going to cover some of this up here, but it's going to come up here like this. So we're just putting some real distant trees in the back here. And I'm just getting the basics of this in. Okay. Like I said, we don't want a whole lot of color. Just kind of this. And we don't want a whole lot of paint, just kind of this dark off in the distance, blackish green, bit here. And we'll just sort of put that down here. Again, not a lot of detail. All our detail is going to be up front. Okay, we're going to come all the way down, but what we are going to do is take some little odds and ends. Get that guy in the mineral spirit so he's not clogging up. We're going to take our detail round brush about like so, maybe like that. Maybe I want to use something smaller. It's a bit early for it, but I like the effect I can get on that. That's the key here, is that we're creating illusions. We are making things look like they aren't, I guess. We're just putting some highlights and shadows on these. We've already got our mid-tone colors in there, and we just put a few darker shades in. So what this will do is just give this background definition. Put a little tree up there, like a guy just poking out. Just like you're seeing the tips of those leaves. And you see we've got our dark patches in here. Gives us some shadow. And this is all going to be covered up. Okay, but you can see what we're doing. We're just putting a little bits here and there, just covering up our, you see it's dark, but we want a nice contrast between our sky and those trees. And we'll finish this up, and then we'll go over our base here. Our base for our mostly foreground here. This is all going to be basic foreground. It's a smaller canvas, so I'm not too worried about working with details too early. You know, with a smaller canvas, I don't really mind it. With the big canvases, it's kind of a pain to toss too many details in too early, because you're trying to fill this giant space with detail, and it becomes very painstaking by the end of it. So that's our nice little tree line here. So what we're doing now, we're going to draw in our basic hillside here, but what we're doing is we're using our mid-tone, and we're going to use our mid-tone and put that in a real light color. Not a lot of paint, really not a lot of paint, because what we're going to do is put our darks and our lights over that in a glaze. So we're doing a mid-tone, and the key to this is you want to vary these colors up. You want to keep them. Okay, we're going to come down here and we'll thin this out. Not too much, that's probably way too much. But, and I've got way too small of a brush too. We're going to use a good sized brush here. Yeah, we use our big filbert brush. Big honking filbert. Now this I want to be more green, brown, yellows. I want this to show up. Heavy contrast to our sky. There we go. And we're just putting this in. Okay. This is our main hillside coming down here. All of our grasses. Okay, we're just putting the base color in. You can see it. This is our main mid-tone. We'll come back. We dip in a bit of the brown, a bit of the green. We come back, we change it up. We dip in a little bit of the blue. Make a darker patch over here. Make sure you keep those brush hairs out. If you see a brush hair, use the tip of your brush and stab at it like that. And that brings that brush hair right out of there. I hate having brush hairs left over. And you just pick it out of there just like that. So we're going to get a bit more brown up front here. So we're going to use our burnt sienna or raw sienna. Mix them together, a bit of brown up here because we can see the ground. Just a bit, not a ton, but it's more of a brown up there. And mix in our green, mix in our blue. You see what this is going to do is give our foreground a base. This is our base color. Okay? And then we can sit there and put our details over top. And by layering our details on, let's put a bit more of the yellow ochre in there. I really like that. There we go, a bit more of the sap green. Sometimes go back to your canvas, grab a bit of that paint, just like it is. It's already pretty thin. I'm spreading it out. Okay. Don't worry about mixing the colors together. That's the whole point. We're putting our base of the field in. And I got my headphones in, so hopefully there's not too much background noise kicking right now. I know I got the microphone in, so that should help. I gotta adjust my canvas. Lemon yellow, and just put little bits of variation here and there. Okay, a little bit of the blue, little bits of variation here and there. You see how we throw those in there. Make it lighter towards the horizon, a bit darker towards the front. The horizon still catches that light. Okay. More up here, a bit darker, just a bit on the darker side. I don't want any really defined shapes, just colors. Okay. And for this next part, we're going to use the liner brush, and we're going to do all this in lots of stems and leaves and flowers and things like that. So that's all going to be time lapse, and we'll come back to that. Alright, so stay tuned. Make sure, guys, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, everybody, what we're doing now is some figure drawing. Now this paint right here is almost completely dry because we did most of that with liquid as a medium, as an additive. Even these lighter colors, make sure I'm not touching my paint there, even these lighter colors, all our flowers, are pretty much dry after only 24 hours. And what that allows us to do is have a pretty open canvas here for painting. Now, I am attempting, or going to attempt, figure drawing, which I am not familiar with at all. So, I drew a picture out. See if I can put that on here. Drew the picture out there of what I want in the scene. That way I've got kind of an idea, and I've got a thinner dark paint on here just to give myself an outline. Hopefully this works out. So I'm just gonna kind of let's see here, and this is just my basic outline of my figure. I'll come in with a liner brush here and do all the details. You know, I'm getting a picture of this young woman or young girl just sitting in this field. She's got a handful of the flowers, and she's just gazing off into the sunset here. So what this is doing is just giving me my outline, you know. I'm trying to make her not have big old man shoulders here. You see, something I'm very unfamiliar with is figure drawing. And again, this is just putting the very basic outline in there, and I will go over this with all my color, you know. And I still haven't decided on the colored dress she's wearing. She's sitting here in a dress. But what you're seeing here is my inexperience at play. I have no idea what I'm doing. And just a little sticking out there. And this dress kind of flows with the grass here. Some of that's going to be covered up there, but you can just see the wind blowing. No face, just that. I don't know what color to make that dress, but we're going to have the dress come down and we'll just paint grass and flowers and stuff right over top. You know, just over the front of it. So we're sitting there. There we go. Just kind of like that. Well, you see what we're looking at here. Hopefully I don't mess this up too bad. I'm going to switch over to my liner brush here and figure out my colors. That is the tricky part. What color to make that dress? You know? Nice red. And that will really stand out. And I realize this paint is so thin, I'm gonna have to do a few layers here, or lots of blending, one of the two. I just don't want to. I haven't even decided on color hair yet. I just wanted to get the basic shape in there. I've got this paint pretty thinned out, but it's still covering up that green pretty well. I had the alizarin crimson, which is actually pretty transparent most of the time, but if you put just a little bit of titanium white in there, it lightens it up obviously, but we'll take care of that if we need to. And makes it a bit more opaque. Make it a bit darker towards the bottom if we want, and that will we'll put all our fabric stuff in there, our wrinkle lines, I guess is the word. I don't want that black outline on there, I just want that red. Let's see, so I'm gonna have to go over that pretty well. There we go. Yeah, see? Looks like she's got a robe on at the moment, or a cape. Cape wasn't exactly what I was going for, but so what I'm mixing up over here on my palette now is a flesh tone for my arms, just to give me a chance to put my borders on there and have my defined space here. And see, I got that so thin it's mixing with that black. Probably should have just done it in the colors I wanted, but live and learn, or paint and learn, either way. That's how you do it. You try something out, you figure out whether it worked or not, and you go back and say, well, let's try it a different way. And I can just keep on doing that if I want. And her other arm over there, like a sleeveless kind of. No real feature going on there. See, I can hold my hand still like that. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. It looks like she's floating at the moment, but hopefully when I put those other grasses in over top, it'll look better. Hair. What are we going to do about hair? What color is your hair? You guys can hear the dog barking. It means, who knows? I'm kind of keeping my hair shape in mind, even though it doesn't, you know, it just seems like a black mass, but that way I'm sort of just cover that up just a little bit. There we go. Just you gotta wonder what she's thinking about. As she sits there staring off into the sunset. It's up to you, the viewer, to decide, right? It's not up to me to tell you what she's thinking about. That would be pretentious of me. I hope you guys enjoyed following along with this one, or just watching. It was a short one, so the video will probably be pretty short, but there you go. You can see what you can do in just a short amount of time. You just sort of get a plan and figure out what you want to do, and we end up with our finished art. Thank you everyone for liking and subscribing. Be sure to share the video with your friends. Be sure to share the channel. Hopefully we can keep moving up. We're at 209 as of today. Only 781 to go. 791 subscribers to go to get to 1,000. So thank you so much everyone. And in the meantime, before another video comes out, keep on pushing paint.